Assalamu alaikum everyone and welcome to Students Hour on Kuwonku TV. I am Jamia Tufati and I'm your host for today's edition on the topic Early Marriage Among Students, Finding Balance Between Education and Commitment. First, I would like to give the mic to our guest to introduce himself.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. My name is Ibrahim Haidar and I'm also here on Students Hour on Kuwonku on a topic based on early marriage among students. Yeah, early marriage among students and how to balance education.
Alright, now we go into the heart of the discussion. The first question I have for the guest is, what comes to your mind when you hear early marriage among students?
First of all, early marriage among students, this refers to a situation or a practice whereby young individuals, often in secondary or tertiary institutions, get into marriage while they are still pursuing their educational career. Yeah, that is students and
That is early marriage among students. Students going to university or in secondary school getting married. Okay, now the second question is, in your own opinion, what drives students into early marriage? Is it pressure, culture, love, or circumstances?
yeah, things that drive students into early marriage, as mentioned above, I would likely say all of the above. Yeah, because when it comes to students early marriage, it has to do with pressure, many circumstances like family pressure, peer pressure, love, and also financial burden. Like if the family is financially unstable, yeah, it can drive someone into early marriage.
Okay, I think that's clear. Now we move to the third question. How do family expectations or societal norms influence students' decision on marrying early?
All right, family expectation, talking about that, like in some families, they force their children, their young children, teenagers, into marriage simply because number one is their cultural beliefs. Yeah, because in some cultures they believe that guys can go into marriage at a very early age. So number one is cultural beliefs. Two is religious belief. Religious belief also play its part when it comes to students early marriage. Their religion belief in some religion they believe that students, especially for girls that are teenagers, they should go into marriage to avoid fornication or adultery. Yeah. Also, poverty also drives students into marriage. Yeah, when the family is poor, they are financially unstable. They can force their children into marriage. No one is what has they part when they influence early marriage.
Okay, that's clear. Poverty causes parents to force their children into getting married at an early age while going to school. Religious reasons and also cultural reasons. They all play part in students' early marriage. The other question is, do you think students can successfully balance their marriage and academic life? You know, when they are married, doing marital jobs at home and also going to school and with your academics. Do you think students can balance it successfully?
Yes, absolutely, they can. But it requires commitment, discipline, and also support, a strong support system from your spouse or your partner. Yes. With these two things, one, you have to be disciplined, two, commitment, and the support from your spouse. If you get this here, you can definitely balance your education and marital issues. marital affairs. Yes.
Alright. Some might say it is impossible or it will be hard for students to balance their academic and commitment to their marriages. Well, as he explained, is discipline, commitment, and the support from the spouse. Probably some students might not get such support. That's like some people, their mentality is that it cannot be possible. The other one is what are some of the challenges married students commonly face in school?
Yeah, one of the problems that marriage student faces in school, one is fatigue. They feel fatigue while in classes. Two is what is stigmatization. Yeah, they feel stigmatized in most cases. Three is depression. They feel depressed while in school. And four is dropouts. Yeah, because why I say dropouts, this in this case it comes when students are to handle both marital affairs and school affairs. You cannot handle your studies while also doing your marital work or home chores. So it is obviously, in most cases, it is very difficult to uphold to do these two things. So therefore, it is a problem or a struggle in married students when it comes to education, balancing education and their commitment to education.
Yeah, and that talking about stigmatization. Yeah, some students they don't understand the reason why their fellow students get into marriage, and the only thing is to stigmatize them, like talking bad about them without knowing the reason why they are in that marriage. Yeah. And the other one that I have here is how does early marriage impact on academic performance, mental health, or focus?
Okay. If I want to get to it, we say how does marriage affect academic performance and health
Mental health.
and mental health? Okay. Are you married like in most cases, teenagers? This one I have to be specific with guys. Yeah. When they get into marriage, at the first level or at the first station of the stage of the marriage, it feels normal. But when you get into start struggling with your partner, like stresses, you know, you feel depressed and tension arises. When it comes to pregnancy, you don't know, might be for relationship, you have been in a relationship, you know how to manage that, but when it comes to pregnancy, you don't know how to deal with it. You need experience, sorry, advice, or a mentor who has experienced it before. Yeah, because life in pregnancy is not for teenagers. Yeah, so teenagers are mostly naive. They don't know they are inexperienced. But with the support of experienced person or experienced parents, they can help the children to overcome this situation.
Aside from that, then yeah, through that also it affects students like they most of them it affects academic performance. Like when you are pregnant for 8 months, 9 months, you cannot be able to go to school. You have to stay home for those days till you will be there after you go back to school and you meet with the learning. The other question is, have you ever witnessed or heard of any student whose education improved or suffered due to early marriage?
Yeah, definitely. This one I have witnessed. Like, it's not just passing. The passing is my sister. Yeah, I've witnessed. I have what to say about it. Yeah. Since my sister, she get into married at a very young age, early age, in secondary school, grade 11. And when she got pregnant, she no longer, she was no longer able to continue with her studies or her school, attending school. So because of that, it becomes a reason for her dropout. She was not able to finish school. Yeah, and right now, as we talk right now, she's having 5 kids. Yes, she dropped out of school with no studies, no further education, and she having 5 kids. Yeah, obviously, I've witnessed a situation like that. It's my princess.
So that means early marriage affects students' education. Now, the other one is early marriage always a disadvantage, or can it work in some cases?
Yeah, it's not always disadvantageous. Yeah, in some cases, where, like I mentioned before, where you have a supportive partner, an understanding partner, that understanding has to be if you can openly communicate with your partner, yes, and share your issues, your dreams, and your goals. That these are my goals, these are my dreams. Yes, this is what I want before having kids or having children. So if you set goals and your partner seem to understand your goals and your dreams, yes, it is not entirely bad. And also, if you yourself, you are a committed person, you know that this is what I want and I have to get there. I don't think marrying early will be a reason to stop you from achieving those goals or dreams. Yes, definitely. In the very rare cases that happens, because some partners are just cool like that. But yeah, but in some cases it works. Yes, but at the very rare cases.
You said in some cases, early marriage, while going to school, is not always disadvantageous, but sometimes, in some cases, it works, but at a minimum rate. Now,
Okay, before that, I want to add this one also there. Also, if your partner is also holds or have in mind that education should be one's top priority, that one also helps. It definitely helps in achieving your goals and your dreams. Yeah, if you and your partner, both of you hold education as your top priority, there it works. Because as the English man says, you need something. So if you have the support from your partner, definitely your education career is going to work. If you do something.
exactly, that's right. The next question is early marriage always, no, the next one is, what should offer schools, so schools offer support system to married students?
Okay. Oh, yeah, talking of schools, they have to offer flexibility. When I talk of flexibility of marriage students, is they don't have to be hard on students that are married. Yes, they have to be flexible. And also, they create like part-time studies for married students. Because if you are students, for instance, and you are pregnant, might be the hour of classes finds you in a bad condition for maintenance. But with the help of the school, if they create, when they offer part-time studies classes for pregnant or married students, it will definitely help them with those struggles they have at home.
Exactly, because each and every school, junior school is not many, but senior school, most of the students are always married. So, for schools to offer such help to married students, will help them to improve on their academics. Yeah. The last question is, what advice would you give to students considering marriage while still going to school?
Okay, yeah, I like that because everything when we plan everything, we have to give advice. So now the choice will be yours, whether to choose or not to choose. So my advice to students that are having in mind of getting married is you have to think wisely and carefully. You have to consider your goals and your dreams that you set. After considering them, you have to think critically, wisely and carefully what you want. So after that, if you still want to go into marriage, my advice to you is never let your marriage to compromise with your studies or your academic excellence or performances. Yes, if you are definitely going for marriage, you should not let that marriage to be a reason to compromise with your studies and academic lives. Definitely, that is the advice. Yeah, you have to think about it critically, wisely, and carefully. After thinking, and you decide that yes, I can do it for money, then don't allow that marriage to be the reason of your goal. Yeah.
Don't allow that marriage to be the reason of your soul. Now that leads us to the end of the program. Thank you to our guest. And early marriage among students is real and complex. The key is awareness, support, and smart choices. Let's keep the conversation alive until next time on Kuwonku TV. Thank you all for watching.